Hey guys, welcome to Hutch. I'm once again joined by Brandon Cook, actually for the first time this year on an actual radio show. Due to this, it's YouTube, I can't say that. The C word, that thing, this is not conventional. This is basically just for a grade. I may post this or something, but it's not gonna be anything special. But we're just gonna go through a show, and it's really tough to do a show when your show topic just stops due to the C word. And but we're gonna get through it. So Brandon, you have previously stated that your team is the Celtics.
Yes.
So we'll get to that at some point. I guess we'll talk about the sad thing first. How did you feel when Kobe Bryant died, when it was announced that?
The first time I heard it, my roommate had told me, and my roommate was a big D-bag this year, so I was just like, oh, he's probably just reading off some gossip site, and it's just a fake one. So then once I looked it up and I saw that it was actually true, it was just it was heartbreaking.
Yeah, TMZ's not always a credible source, so I can understand that. I was going to the gym in Evening Shade, actually, and one of my buddies just ran up to me and said, hey, Kobe died. And I was like, nah, you're messing with me. Because I don't know, that wouldn't be a very good prank to pull either, because I didn't really like Kobe, but yeah, no, that's just a mess. I'm not shouting. So before the season ended, who were your contenders? I've grouped every team into certain categories. So I've got contenders. You've got teams that are going to be solid playoff teams, but they're probably not going to do anything. You've got bubble teams, then you've got teams that have no chance. So we'll start at the top because this is probably the thinnest list. What are your contenders?
For going to the finals?
Yes. Who do you think can win a championship this season?
I was going to say it was either the Bucks, Lakers, Celtics, or I'm trying to think of another West team to balance it out, but really the only team I saw coming out of the West was the Lakers.
Well, I think mine was the Bucks, the Clippers, and the Lakers. And I don't know why I'm starting to give the Clippers less benefit of a doubt because they just look rough.
They just haven't proven anything.
Well,
Kawhi and Paul George have played 2 games together all season.
They don't play. It's Kawhi, Paul George, Lou Williams, Harrell, and Beverly have played all of 3 games or something together, and they're good when they're there. But I guess
last year they were just the scrappy team. Oh, we're gonna work our hardest and we're gonna get these games won and we're gonna make it to the playoffs, and that's what they were known for. They were just that hard-working team. Now this year they're just oh, we got 2 superstars now. We're going to the playoffs. It doesn't even matter.
Well,
Which really just damages the Clippers' reputation.
That's just kind of a thing when you get Kawhi, is he's gonna miss a lot of games, and I guess rightfully so. But oh my gosh, it's a thunderstorm now. Okay, well, thunderstorm just started. That's great, guys.
Yeah.
And Paul George has had injury troubles and stuff, so I think that's just something you kind of get. But yeah, we have the Bucks and the Lakers in common.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the Celtics. I think they're gonna need another year, maybe.
The way they were playing this year, man.
I think Tatum is just gonna absolutely need to elevate into full-on superstar mode. He's in star mode right now.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he surpassed the guy that won the Rookie of the Year out of the class before him. And no one in his class really won the Rookie of the Year.
Simmons?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was technically his class, but so how about all your just strong playoff teams? And this one's kind of rough because we already kind of knew who was in the playoffs. There's only a few spots, but who's I guess pretenders is what you call it, teams that just aren't gonna do anything. Everybody else,
the ones that are sitting back oh, well, we could have made a run in the playoffs. Come on, man.
Yeah, Jazz, Nuggets,
Hawks.
No, the Hawks aren't even close. They're just not. Okay, who?
I feel like the Hawks were on their way to the playoffs this year.
They were on their way to the playoffs last year. This year they suck consistently all year long. Trae Young was their bright spot. He still is. And Clint Capella's not going to do a dang thing to change that team.
I thought John Collins was stepping it up this year.
John Collins missed 20 games because of PEDs. that kind of hurt them too. John Collins is a good ball player though. He may not be anymore off the dope, but or whatever he
It
was.
was a part of one of the worst dunk contests in NBA history.
Oh, the dunk contest would suck, man. Like, do you realize this is gonna be a random tangent, but like, there was more tens last year in the dunk contest or this year.
Last year's dunk contest was so good though.
See, I'm not sure if it's necessarily better. I think they're just giving out more tens, to be honest with you. Like, you can make anything look better if you just make the scores better.
I'm just saying, like, the actual dunks in it were like I've watched highlights from the Dominique and Michael Jordan dunk contest, and the dunks in this one were just so much more explosive and like creative and stuff. I'd definitely put this as one of the number one of all time.
Well, I mean, you have to be absolutely creative now.
They jumped over Taco Fall.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 7'7".
You have to. You just have to be super creative now and get some gimmicks. And
Pretty sure it was Derrick Jones Jr. threw it off the backboard, jumped over dude, put it between his legs, and then dunked.
Yeah, but I think in like another 5 years, unless you just have more guys come up that are just incredibly athletic that can literally jump over the backboard, I think that it's not. It shouldn't even be a thing anymore. I'm thinking we should totally revamp the All-Star Weekend. And I've talked about this. I think instead of the...
They definitely need to keep the dunk contest because of the hype around it.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
like everybody, it's part of All-Star Weekend. It's one of the biggest things. Everyone waits and tunes into the dunk contest just hoping it'll be good again.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get buzz no matter what. But first of all, get some judges who can dunk still. Like, keep Dwayne Wade from ever judging it again. I mean, just get some, like, because now it's just, like, B-list celebrities. Like, they've went way too far with that. And I know, like, DJ Khaled was, like, one of the best judges ever in the dunk contest. But, like, get some people who have been there. Like, get Dominique and get Dr. J and get, is Dr. Yeah, he's still alive. And get, you know, I don't know. Either that or get stars. But, like, my other proposed changes to the All-Star Weekends were, I don't want to see Team USA and Team World anymore. Because if, what's that one guy that plays for the Pistons, like Shvia Machugulik, whatever his name?
Yeah.
The guy, you can't, if him and Mo Wagner are in Rising Stars games, that's a problem. That's like, we need to keep
Are
it.
you talking about Tecum, something like that? Tecumboy, something like that?
No, he's good.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, he is
I'm
good.
talking about the guy who's like Svia, like Maju. I don't know. He's something that there's more consonants than
else.
Yeah, which is a common thing, but like his is like the balance is way out. But I'm thinking, dude, replace that with like go back to the rookie sophomore game.
I mean, dang. Pretty soon you could just go college, non-college.
Yeah. But I'm thinking like instead of seeing like Luka and Shavi Majukulik or whatever on trying to play Team USA or whatever. What if it was Luka, Trey, Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr.,
Yeah.
Marvin Bagley, you know, all those great guys from last year playing Zion, Joe Morant, I can't remember, RJ Barrett. Like, I think that just seems more interesting. Like, I've watched the rookie sophomore game from LeBron's class when it was LeBron, D-Wade, Melo, Chris Bosh versus Amari Stoudemire, Carlos Boozer, you know, some of those guys.
Yeah.
And I think it brings more competitiveness when you're playing for your class and not just, all right, these 380 countries against this one country that is running out of talent for some reason. Like this is the first time Team World has won, I'm pretty sure.
That's just because Luka. Just whatever team has the most, in any of this stuff, just has the most dominant player. That's why the Bucks are so good. Giannis is unstoppable. Luka's just one of those unstoppable
This is
players.
the first time Team USA has won. That's what I meant. Because I think Luka didn't even play that much. But where were we? Okay, so who's the worst team in the league?
Worst team in the league?
Yeah.
The Warriors, probably.
Well, yeah, I mean, they are on paper, but, like, who's, like, just the most depressing, no future? Because the Warriors are going to run it back with Curry, Thompson, Wiggins,
James Wiseman.
Draymond, probably James Wiseman. Eric Pascal. But, like, who's the most depressing, no future team in the league?
Probably the Hornets. I don't know, the Hornets are getting a good young group around, but maybe the Suns.
I don't know. I still want to have faith in the Suns for some reason.
I think Devin Booker is such a good player, but they're not able to do anything with him. So just because of, like, the lack of ability for the GM to actually get like winnable players, I just don't see the Suns ever becoming good.
Well, like, here's the thing. You could use the excuse for the Suns this year. Like, Ayton missed 25 games for the same reason John Collins did.
Yeah.
But they were better. They were better with Aaron Baines.
2 years ago, a young Devin Booker scored, what was it, like 78 points against the Celtics?
70.
70 points against the Celtics.
It's like the fifth time that's ever
They
happened.
have all that talent at their disposal, and they're still losing all of these games.
Yeah, and that, I mean, they started good this year, but that was with Baines. So, like, Ayton is not the cause of their winning. You know,
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. It's literally good luck, I guess. And I don't know.
Might
I
be the Cavs.
like. I think the Hornets.
The Cavs were a bad team before LeBron left, but LeBron was just so amazing of a player that he propelled them so far.
Yeah.
And then the second he left, they just were just a turd like that. And now they've went and they've added Andre Drummond to that when they already had Tristan Thompson. And they're basically the same player. Tristan Thompson's just worse.
I don't even know about that anymore. Like, Drummond's not even that great. Like, he's never gonna be. He's not like a.
But he's
ISO on the
still
top.
averaging 15 boards a game. That's something you can use.
Yeah, but I mean, Thompson could probably do that if he played him 36 minutes a night or something.
Yeah.
And he was doing pretty good. He was taking more. He's averaging like 18 a game for a while this season. I mean, he was their 4th overall pick at one point, and it only paid off like once.
It was so sad to see Kevin Love's career go there to die. He was such a good player when he played for the Timberwolves.
I mean, he got injured a bunch in Cleveland, and I don't know why anybody would willingly say, "I want to be traded to Cleveland."
When the Warriors were beating them, it kind of felt like a lot like he was being scapegoated. Like, if he wasn't doing great, they were just kind of pushing it off on him.
Well, the thing, like, he wasn't, and LeBron was. Like, LeBron was doing. And the year that they actually won the championship, he wasn't a part of that. And he barely was for any of it.
Yeah.
But no, that's like where my respect lies in LeBron, that he beat the Warriors with Tristan Thompson and Timothy Mozgov as a front court. You talk about no shooting whatsoever. Tristan Thompson literally switched hands halfway through his NBA career. He used to be left-handed. That's just rough, man. But yeah, there's a bunch. I think the Cavs, the Hornets, the Knicks, always. But like the Hornets, like I think their problem is like even they've got a solid young core. But even if this core develops, I think if P.J. Washington and is it Miles Bridges that plays there?
Yeah.
Even if they develop to their full potential, that's like still going to be like a 7th seed team.
They also have though Devontae Graham, who showed he can be a really good scoring point guard. Like he's undersized, but I mean, who isn't now in the league? Ever since Curry came up,
Yeah.
like, everybody's like, oh, we got to find our really good, just amazing undersized point guard.
I think if they just get rid of Rozier, I think just the contract, and they're getting
Nicholas
rid of
Batum.
But Batum's gone. They waived Kid Gilchrist. They're starting to get rid of a lot of this money. Biombo. And maybe if just Jordan sells the team, that would probably be another good step. But the thing is, like these teams that are bad this year, like the Warriors are going to be fine because
They have three All-Stars
they already
coming back.
have they already have a core in place. They're just it's kind of a break here, to be honest.
Yeah.
And they might not ever come back in full strength. They probably won't. But like this is kind of a break here for them. For these teams that don't have a good core going or that don't have like an already established core, like for the Hornets that are just completely banking on Bridges and Washington being good, and for the Knicks that are
Graham.
completely banking on R.J. Barrett and maybe Julius Randle turning into.
Is Kevin Knox even still a thing?
No, not really. He's a bad 6-man. That's what he is. But like what I'm saying though is like this draft that's coming up is not that good. So you add Wiseman. That could be something.
LaMelo Ball is looking to be a really good prospect.
LaMelo might be something. That Edwards from Georgia, he might turn into something.
Yeah.
But like it's probably not going to be a very good draft. And people usually do decently well with like saying that this is not going to be a very good draft or this is going to be a very good draft. But it's probably not. So like you're not going to get a lot of help by being bad this year. So like I don't know. The Knicks suck. That's essentially what I'm saying. All right, this is the part of the show where if I was actually on show, we're going to go to commercial. And we're back. Now we're going to talk about now that we've quit talking about the depressing teams, we're going to talk about the NBA awards and what we think the regular season. First thing, do you think they should go back to the awards being just what it was, like put the award show like 2 weeks after the season instead of like 2 months?
I feel like because of the way they do it and they just grade on the season, they don't put it in the playoffs. It's good where they put it, because then I would always get off on like the year Ben Simmons, like I was talking about earlier, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell. I so wanted Jason Tatum to win it just because of his playoff performance that year, but like you can't do the playoffs. It's not a part of it, and that was always something that threw me off because I wasn't sure if they counted it or not. And this is honestly really helpful for that problem. Like you can't use playoff stats to help your argument.
Yeah. Well, see, I would say the complete opposite of that because, like, it depends on when, because they do the award show, the regular season award show after the playoffs have ended, and they used to do it like right after the regular season ended. So it kind of depends on when they vote. Like if they vote after the playoffs, then it's humans voting. There's probably going to be some kind of bias in there towards the playoffs, but if they do it way beforehand and they just keep that stuff bottled up, I'm fine with it. But I think they can do an actual show like that, like just before the playoffs, and just have you like a little 3-week hiatus there or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It may be kind of weird because you'd have all these teams that are about to face each other or something. I don't know. So we'll start Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year this year? I gotta think of all the rookies. It's Ja Morant, for sure.
It's Ja Morant.
I thought it was going to be Zion on lock at the beginning of the year.
Because of the hype. Well, now it could be.
No, because he was actually just a solid, just unstoppable force, like in the paint stuff. Like we don't get a lot of people just like go to the rim and do stuff like that. Like, even when he played, he was averaging 25 points per game. I don't know, like he maybe shot like 20 shots outside of 5 feet.
Oh yeah.
And then he developed that three-pointer and showed it in his first game back. And it's like, if he would have been there the entire season, the conversation would be much more harder. But just because Ja was there consistently, being just the best rookie out there all year, I have to give it to him.
You know, if it would have been a thing, like, if they were both kind of there the whole season, and, like, unless Zion was averaging, like, 25 a game or something, I would say just whoever got their team to the playoffs. Because that was the big kind of thing right now. But the problem is, like, Zion's playing with Ingram, so Zion probably has a little more help because Jaren Jackson Jr. hasn't done a whole lot this year.
He's got what? Bruno Caboclo?
I love Bruno, man.
What is he, Cuban Mamba? Or no,
he's 6'9" center or something with like 7'3" wingspan.
I think we're getting our players backwards because I know he's a small forward.
Oh, they play him at center sometimes. Or the Hustle did, or whoever he was on.
I like the Grizzlies. We're about 2 hours from Memphis, so I go to see their games a lot. I know who Bruno Caboclo is.
Well, anyway.
R.J. Barrett was a very Knicks player this year. I realize that's about how he performed. He was a good Knick, but he's still a Knick.
Well, see, the thing was, like, R.J. Barrett's not a very good shooter, right? So he needs to drive and he needs to create. And when you play with Julius Randle, who's not a very good shooter, Mitchell Robinson, who doesn't shoot, Kevin Knox, who is...
Is Courtney Lee still on the Knicks or the Grizzlies?
No.
I can't remember. Where is Courtney Lee?
I think somebody cut him.
He was a good shooter for the Celtics, and
because he's making $13 million a year doing nothing. So.
Yeah, that's the life.
So, like, Kevin Knox, who hasn't been present since he's been in the league, maybe a summer league game or two. And then, like, Moutier doesn't shoot. Frank Ntilikina doesn't shoot. Portis is not great. When you have that, like, it's hard for him to... He doesn't have any floor spacing. They're playing Wayne Ellington, like, 30 minutes a night at point guard because they need the floor spacing. It's ridiculous. New York sucks. Anyway. So yeah, job with that. How about a defensive player of the year? Now see, this is the one I never keep up with as much.
Same. It's just Rudy Gobert just always.
It's either Gobert or Giannis.
I honestly expect Marcus Smart. I thought he could have been in the top just because of the stuff he does. Like Dennis Rodman, he won it that year and he averaged like no more than 1 steal and 1 block per game. But just because of the presence he was on defense, he won it. Marcus Smart could have won it on that same presence this year because like he gets so many charges. Like people talk about Kyle Lowry being a big guy for charges, but Marcus Smart, I haven't checked his stats, so I could be very wrong, but I bet he gets the same or more than them. And he's just always getting big steals when the Celtics need him.
Yeah, I think it's just hard for guards to get that award, just to get that consideration.
Because the bigs are in all the situations where you got to make big stops, like at the rim.
Yeah, where you get blocks and stuff. But I will give it to Rudy Gobert. Now, I'm
Rudy Gobert is an elite defender.
very big on this show of just shitting on Rudy Gobert because I don't like Rudy Gobert. I don't like the big guys who can't do anything.
Until this year's All-Star game, I did not think he had any offensive presence at all. I was like, he's an All-Star
Well, I mean,
starter.
he still only catches lobs, and that's like his whole game. But it could be worse. He could be like Clint Capella, who's just a worse version of Rudy Gobert. Mitchell Robinson, who's just a worse but crazy athletic version of Rudy Gobert. But like I started an association with the Jazz on TK, and now I'm a fan of Rudy Gobert. So like, well, he can switch too, and the guy never gets tired. So, and these are facts. These are not just 2K-isms about Rudy Gobert. And he plays with Joe Ingles, so. Even though he's an idiot for touching all the mics, but that sounds like something I would do.
He got so much hate for all of that. And I knew the second he was making jokes about it and doing all this stuff, he was going to test positive. There's no way.
Yeah. But, so Gobert or Antetokounmpo. I'm going to go ahead and say Giannis. Just for the sake of...
Just for the argument.
I don't really have an argument for it. Just... Giannis is crazy.
The second LeBron retires, it's going to switch to Giannis, where he's just like we give the award to this guy just because Giannis can't win everything award. It's basically what it is.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought.
That's what people call the MVP for LeBron now.
Yeah, it's been that way with LeBron for like 7 years.
Yeah.
Ever since he won that last one with the Heat. What's the next one? Sixth Man of the Year?
This is another thing I don't follow.
Yeah, I don't keep up with six. I just give it to Lou Williams.
It's just another one. It's like Rudy Gobert for defensive and Lou Will for, since Jamal Crawford didn't get picked up, which is just a huge tragedy because he still has a couple good years left in him. But
Joe Ingles.
Joe Ingles, 6 Man of the Year.
I think he came off the bench a few times. I'm not sure.
The thing is, the Celtics, their lineup is always so much in a state of flux. I can't ever pick a 6 man for them, whether it's Jaylen Brown or Marcus Smart. But either one of them have started too many games, probably.
Maybe Hero. I don't think Hero starts, and I think it's Nunn, Butler, like he used to be wins. I don't know. Hero, Nunn, Dragic, whatever. They've got like 7 small guards there. Hero's another interesting. And Hero and Nunn for Rookie of the Year is another interesting one.
Yep.
They're not going to win it, but
Oh, no.
but they have been nice surprises.
What the Heat did just really propelled them into the spotlight and showed them that they're good players. Because I feel like a lot of these awards, the big thing is like if your team's not winning or you're not doing well, you're not getting seen a lot, and that's what really hurts your like stock for these positions.
Well, like the Heat, them doing that made me respect Jimmy Butler a little bit more because I was like, oh, he's gonna be just like Kyrie basically. This is kind of like a locker room cancer or something. But Jimmy Butler actually is better when he's the guy, when he is the lone star player.
I've always liked Jimmy Butler. I've always been a fan of him. Because I don't like the Sixers, I wasn't a big supporter when he was there, but it's always just I never blamed him for what happened to the Timberwolves. I always just assumed because like I always got that energy from Cat that he was just going to be one of these guys who's like, and Wiggins
does nothing.
Wiggins has been. They needed somebody to light a fire under them. I'm pretty sure the next year Wiggins came out, or was it the next year or this year that Wiggins came out?
Wiggins has been like at a solid 17 point a game pace for like since his rookie season. Now he won Rookie of the Year. A lot of people don't remember that, but. So what's the next one? It's Coach of the Year? I mean, pretty much you just got to think of any surprise team. So
I thought the Coach of the Year just went to whoever had the best record. So it's going to be
a lot of times because like Brad Stevens has won it before without No, they had the
His
best
rest
record.
seasons
But it's usually like the biggest surprise. But like the teams on top this year, it's not that big of a surprise. And whoever LeBron's coach is, he's probably not getting Coach of the Year because. But I would say like I think Nick Nurse is one of the names because the Raptors have been so good this year without Kawhi. Whoever the Grizzlies coach is, because they've
Honestly,
been.
couldn't even name the name. They've changed it so many times.
And maybe like Carlisle or something because of the Mavericks. But I don't know.
But that's also a huge part of Luka.
Yeah. And then the last one, MVP. I think it's got to be Giannis, but
Luka's the only real danger to it. But
yeah, but Luka, I think the Mavericks have fallen so far in the standings because I think they were at the 7th seed like last time. The West, if the NBA does come back, the West is going to be a fight, like an absolute fight.
we're gonna just see another Sixers, Raptors, Celtics, Bucks in the
That's
second
pretty
round
much
of the
it.
final.
Maybe the Heat might make some noise or something. I don't know. The Sixers are just kind of sucking.
Remember how fun it was last year when just all of the big teams lost one game to like the 7 and 8 seed last year, and it was just like, oh, the upsets, and then they just went on to sweep the rest of the season, the rest of the series.
DJ Augustine made a game-winning shot.
DJ Augustine had like 30-something points. What?
I actually looked up because like sometimes when I'm bored, I just like to think of the most random players I can think of and look up their highlights. I look up DJ Augustine's season highlights from last season. The guy, he can pass, and he was teammates with Kevin Durant too in Texas. So interesting little tidbit of information there.
I had no idea about that.
So I want to talk about the cancer I previously mentioned, Kyrie Irving, and the Nets.
Oh,
So
I
here's
knew
my.
we were gonna talk about them at some point.
Here's my proposed what would have been what the Nets should have done. So, what happened in
Keep D'Lo, pick up KD, use the Kyrie money to get another solid big. It's not DeAndre Jordan.
yeah. Well, the Kyrie money would have gone to D'Lo probably, but
Yeah.
here's the deal though. Yeah, and the D'Lo was used in the trade for. It was actually a trade for Kevin Durant.
It was
but
a sign-in, or
yeah,
trade
they could have
and
just
sign,
pulled
something
that
like
off, sign and trade.
Sign and trade.
But like, what happened? And here's my argument for this. So yeah, keep D'Lo, sign KD. They've still got Karis LeVert, develop Joe Harris, develop Spencer Dinwiddie.
They have a really solid
Jared
bench.
Allen. Don't sign DeAndre Jordan. Good to 4 years and $32 million. You're literally just giving that guy a spot for the heck of it. He's another one of those guys who catches lobs. And that's what. Problem is, he's not good at it anymore. He fell from grace so hard.
I love that Clippers team so much, dude. Like the Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, JJ Redick, Jamal Crawford, all those guys. That was one of my favorite teams.
Oh, yeah. But anyway.
Lob City was amazing.
What are you going to do? But like, okay, but my argument for that is like, look what happened to the Celtics. And the Celtics are fine now. But
Well, Kemba came in was such a good. Like we hardly missed Kyrie just because Kemba made such a better chemistry
yeah.
player.
But I'm talking about, so the Celtics were first in the East with a left-handed point guard who's not very good at defense. And they traded him for Kyrie. And Isaiah Thomas's career just went like that real quick.
It's because Danny Ainge saw that hip injury coming.
Yeah.
He was hurt in the finals where we lost to LeBron, or we should have won.
But I don't know if they were necessarily better without or with Kyrie if they would have just let their young guys develop for a year, and not pay Isaiah Thomas or something,
Yeah.
But so the Nets are basically doing the same thing, and now Kyrie's out with season-ending surgery. KD, hadn't been there all year, but like maybe KD and Kyrie can make it click. But the Nets are about to have a huge overhaul probably that they don't need because Kyrie doesn't like Joe Harris, and for some reason he likes Garrett Temple. Is his favorite teammate.
He always just finds one person on the team that he's on to just like attack.
He just attacks. I don't know why he thinks he deserves respect. I don't know.
Because Kyrie's the shit, and we're all gonna smell it, bro.
Kyrie's the man with LeBron all day. All right, we'll be right back. And we're back. All right. So final little thoughts and questions here. Rapid fire. top 5 favorite players of all time? I don't care about position. I don't care about how good they are. Who's your
favorite players that you like the most?
yes that you like the most?
Larry Bird, Shaq, Blake Griffin, Kobe. Who else? I guess Scally, because you gotta love Scally.
You gotta love Scally. Mine are
Taco.
Taco. Yeah, Taco. I told you I'm starting to garner respect for Taco. I think could be something.
Yes. If you could play someone that big more than 10 minutes a game, because his per 36 minute stats are just off the charts.
I think he could do it. Because
Yeah.
he doesn't have
He's one of the most mobile guys of his size we've ever seen.
he doesn't have giganticism, does he?
No.
See, that's the problem with
He's just-
Boban. Boban is going to die in 10 years. I'm serious. You cannot play. He wants his life to be.
5 years after his career, he'll be like Yao Ming and just like towering over all the 7-footers.
Yes.
What's Yao Ming at now? Like 8'1".
Yao just keeps growing.
Have you seen Yao recently? There's some picture of him next to Shaq, and Shaq came like up to Yao's shoulder.
Yao Ming is 11 foot.
Well,
They're asking him to come back.
Yao Ming's hand is the size of most toddlers.
They will put him in a wheelchair and just have him wheel down the court.
They don't let Yao Ming hold babies anymore because they're afraid he might crush them. So in China, they just let him hold the baby girls.
He's like Lenny from A Mice and Men. Crushes the bunnies.
I was just trying to pet it.
Just trying to talk about the rabbits, George. Or Tracy.
There's going to be a farm. There's going to be bunnies running around. And you can just be happy. Just look at the sunset and think about the farm, Lenny.
Talk about the rabbits, Tracy. Mine would be Joe Ingles, obviously. Because he's just the sexiest man to ever grace a basketball court.
Sexiest man to ever go through early male pattern baldness.
Other than Kurt Jones. Steve Nash. Because that's just my guy, unathletic, white, fundamental. Curry, Scalabrine, you gotta love Scally.
Gotta love Scally.
I don't really have any big men on my list, I don't think. I don't know.
Shaq is just so fun, and he's just amazing, like dominant.
Bob Pettit. I like the mean team, man, because Bob Pettit's like a 6'6" power forward. And him and Kobe are the only guys to ever drop 40 on every team in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. He played for the good old racist St. Louis Hawks who traded Bill Russell because he was black.
It turned out well for Celtics.
Yeah, the Celtics did fine. The Celtics might be the luckiest. It takes a luck sometimes. Of course, it does for the Lakers, too. Cause,
that's how the entire Magic organization got started. Because they got the number 1 pick in Shaq, then like the next year, 2 years later, they got the number 1 pick and got Penny Hardaway.
Didn't work out so well.
Then Shaq got upset and left, and Penny became T-Mac, or was the first T-Mac, just got hurt.
And then they got T-Mac and Grant Hill, and almost got Tim Duncan, except Doc Rivers said Tim Duncan's families couldn't fly on the team plane. So Doc Rivers just goes into my thought that Doc Rivers is an idiot. But
yeah. I wrote off of the whole Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo team.
Yeah. So.
Doc Rivers is great whenever he has superstars. I mean, think he was there for Lob City. He was there for.
Oh, he's fantastic which I'll give him the 8 seed stuff last year, but.
Yeah.
Also, we knew how good SGA was going to be, though.
Yeah.
And Beverly's just the man. And Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell, that ticked me off so many times. Montrezl Harrell is 6'7", and you're telling me nobody can beat him. Like, he just makes, every shot. Like, he could literally throw one up between his legs, and it would probably just go in. It would hit a bird in the sky, and the bird would gently guide it down to the basket.
Big thing, Montrezl Harrell is just a good, he understands where he should be as a big man. He's always, stepping off, waiting for a guard to get him open, or he knows where to position himself on rebounds, because he gets a lot of just easy putbacks and, dish-offs to Duncan.
Yeah, he doesn't. Oh, he's never had that tough a basket in his life, because Lou Will is just that good, too. But
yeah.
But let's see. How can I give you some really good Celtics debates that just make you mad. Paul Pierce is overrated.
I mean, I don't know about overrated.
Thoughts?
I don't know about overrated, but it's like he's a legit Hall of Famer.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's a Finals MVP.
He's a Finals MVP. He always had good seasons. I mean,
They should missed a game to poop.
missed a quarter.
Missed a quarter to poop. Or wait, he did.
He
Poop.
did poop. He did poop himself.
He was just like, I'm gonna take this wheelchair.
We're wearing white uniforms right now. The Celtics uniform already doesn't look that great.
Especially not with a big crap stain on the back. He probably just looked into Kevin Garnett's eyes. It's like,
Get me out of here.
I have to leave. Please help me.
I mean, they did. The Kobe team that then went back to back, they also beat them. Like the last game of that final series where they won the game by 30 points. And
Yeah.
Paul Pierce was a large contributor to that game. Kevin Garnett did most of it, but I feel like he contributed enough. Like I don't think anybody's saying Paul Pierce is one of the greatest ever. So I don't know if
No, I'm not.
I don't know
saying.
if the overhyped thing really or overrated thing comes into play.
I don't. I think it's just like kind of a stigma.
I
Like
feel like he's earned the hype he has.
I think it's just kind of like the stigma around that team. Actually, I think people don't like Paul Pierce now because he's an idiot as an analyst.
Yeah.
But like, there's just like that team is seen as just kind of the ones that kind of brought the Celtics back and everything. I don't know. There's like something off there because I don't know. Maybe I think it shouldn't have worked because you got a fairly old Ray Allen. Paul Pierce has been 60 since he was born, and Kevin Garnett, who was
Danny Ainge is just really good at finding players that are in their prime and getting rid of them for getting good stuff, like when they just screwed over the Nets on all those draft picks with Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, and they just
Jason
fell
Tatum.
off immediately. And then like trading Kyrie for Isaiah Thomas, and then Isaiah Thomas just like not being able to come back from the hip surgery. He's such a good GM at being able to like piece those things
Oh
together.
yeah, he's great. He was a good basketball player too
yeah.
for that pick, and was a first round pick in the MLB too. Oddly enough, what a guy. Back when 6'2" white guys could
Back in the 60s.
start on a team. Who's your favorite Celtic of all time, other than Larry Bird?
It's KG probably.
I
would say Shaq just because I like Shaq so much, but the Celtics Shaq was not a good Shaq.
like Kevin McHale. First, he's just such an oddly built man. First of all, he was a good coach. He just got fired, and
He did really good in the WNBA, didn't he?
I don't know. I don't keep up with the WNBA too much, to be perfectly honest with you.
You're a sexist piece of shit.
I know, man. We played WNBA on NBA 2K the other day, and I beat you with him because I gave you the Mercury too.
They would not make layups on 2K. It was
Oh
so
no,
frustrating.
nobody makes layups on 2. Don't you know this by now? Let's see. Any more hot button things I want to talk about? Who's your Duke all-time starting five? Duke's kind of weird. Duke's never had like just incredible players.
All-time
in the
Duke
NBA.
starting five or all-time Duke NBA players? starting
Duke
five?
NBA players starting.
All right.
Like, cause it's kind of weird, cause like Kentucky always has the stars, and like Duke just doesn't. I don't know.
At the one, Kyrie.
I don't even know if Kyrie barely played.
He didn't. But this is not Duke players. This is Duke players in the NBA. And then at the two, JJ Redick was one that came out of Duke, wasn't he?
JJ Redick was probably the best Duke player ever.
Christian Laettner.
I hate Christian.
Christian Laettner's so good.
Put old Leitner out there.
Well, Laettner didn't have an NBA. I'm confused on the concept. You said this is their NBA. But going off their NBA. You were going off their NBA
just
careers.
just whatever you want too.
Oh, well. Then at the three, Jason Tatum, for sure.
I mean, they had to at least made the NBA. That's just kind of what I'm.
Oh, okay, I got you. And at the four, Zion. I'll put Laettner in at the five.
Okay. I would trade out Leitner for Grant Hill, probably. Run a really small group. And Grant Hill got beat by Arkansas in the 94 finals. So. I could do an Arkansas starting five and just count them all. Ah.
We'll take this out of the post, so I'll probably just whip my balls out.
Please don't.
Please don't.
I just whip out the 5 players that have ever made the NBA from Arkansas.
Pat Bev.
Beverly, Moncrief, Robertson, Corliss, Portis, Gafford. Gafford's not bad.
On the Bulls. The Bulls is just a team. It's like, oh, he's a good big from Arkansas. We'll take him in the second round.
For real, like
That's.
you were with. I think
Portis
you
was
were
like
with
mid.
me
Portis
watching
was
the
mid
draft.
first time. We were.
And I
Like
was
this-
like, and I saw that the Bulls were up, and I knew it was around Gafford's time. And I was like, oh, they're gonna do it.
I saw. I legit. The second. It was like one of the first 4 picks of the second round. I saw the Bulls were up and Gafford was out there, and I was like, they're taking him. There's no way.
They're taking Gafford because Lord knows they didn't have enough centers with Cristiano Felicio and who they gave $32 million.
More like.
He sucks. He's so bad.
I know, but
Wendell
it's
Carter
fun to say
Jr.,
Felicio.
Laurie Markkinen. I don't know. People give Zach LaVine way too much credit too. He's not that good. He doesn't play defense. And they just completely overhaul their staff though. Isn't it interesting though that like when like the best players leave their franchise, they just destroy that franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Because like the Bulls have never been the same since Jordan left, which it's hard to match that. But like LeBron, everywhere he goes, he makes the team sign like bad players on like 12. Like the Cavs are still dealing with all those contracts, like Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love, J.R. Smith. I mean, they got rid of that one, but
LeBron he wants all these players to play with him, but he's so good and he makes all the players around him so good that it's like it's made him a bad judge of talent. Like if you actually put him with a solid, really good team, like he started playing with AD, he has Rondo now at the point. JaVale McGee, he's made JaVale go from like the Shaq and a fool, just poster child, to a solid player.
I still give the Warriors credit for that. JaVale just needed on a good team, and now he's on a good team again. But yeah, LeBron just destroys every place he is. Like Miami still dealt with that. And I don't know. Anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. Have a great day. Stay safe.